Those are the headlines that are jumping out this lunchtime. 2 days, well, let's just say what, a day and a half left of the transfer window. It was madness this morning. We're talking Sterling, we're talking Sancho, and what happened there, what might happen there with Chelsea. It has completely spun a full-on 360 and gone back a 180 again on them deals. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on with them, what all the headlines are, what's false, what's not, what is actually happening right now. Some people saying that Juventus and Sancho done. All reports going on all over the place. I did warn you earlier this morning that just get ready, because this next 2 days is going to be absolutely mental. And a story about Ivan Toney popping up, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. I'm going to tell you why it's popped up and why I think it's popped up, and then give you the headlines on what's actually been said on it. It is for Every Night TV. I'm Adam. We have found another location, literally 30-foot drop right down there to my death, and a stream that's dating back to what, Saxon days, was it? Like, honestly. We are in, where are we again? Lyme Regis, on the coast, Jurassic Coast, and yeah, it is as picturesque as you can get. If you've seen what was at the side of me right now, you'd be blown away. Definitely go and visit it just to see some of the sights around here. But we're talking Manchester United transfers, well, walking around a big tourist attraction right now. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be stood here or if I'm allowed to, but we're going with it anyway. Please give the video a like, for the reason that I could fall to my death any minute. Exaggeration a little bit, but still it adds to the drama, doesn't it? And the fact that we're sneaking into what looks like someone's garden just to get a live stream going to talk United transfers, because the phone is going ping, 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 ping. Why? Because Jadon Sancho to Juventus, according to Italian sources, locked and loaded, done. I don't know where it's come from, but the reports are that Manchester United want wages paid. Juventus's offer, which is now official according to Damasio, is in at around loan with loan fee, and I think 60% of Jadon Sancho's wages paid and covered by Manchester United, and there is no obligation on that. Manchester United, on the other hand, are looking to loan Raheem Sterling now, so no permanent deals on any of these. And again, like I said, it's done the 360 and then a full 180 and from where it was at yesterday. And this is what happens in the latter stages of the transfer market. So just to clarify where everything actually is. So the Italian reporters are saying that Sancho to Juve, done. That's what they're all coming out with. Manchester United will pay, I think it was 6 million euros of Jadon Sancho's salary. Juventus will pick up the rest. And Manchester United will get a loan fee, which is around about 10 million euros. They want a big loan fee out of it, so they are going to get money. They are going to get money out of this, and it is going to work for United financially, but it is no obligation at the end of it, i.e. Jadon Sancho will not be forced to be purchased by Juventus at the end of his loan period. And that's what the Italian reports are saying. English are still saying as well that Jadon Sancho could still go to Chelsea. They're going to have to offer something significant to move him away, because his mind, according to Italians, is on Italy. But he is open to moving to Chelsea if that comes about. Basically, anything can happen in these next 2 days still, and the story is going to keep on changing. At the Italian side of things, he's definitely sticking to Juve being top, though. Like this morning, it was more favourite with Chelsea taking Jadon Sancho. This lunchtime, it's looking more like Juventus are back in the game as well. And significantly way down the line in terms of where this deal is actually at. So, in reality, yes, Juve looking favourites again. And if you look at the reports are saying, wrapped up, done, happy with it. United, I don't know if them figures are going to be right in terms of the wages. I don't know what the figures are going to be in terms of loan fee or anything like that. But ultimately, what you do need to know is that Manchester United won't be able to get the obligation for Jadon Sancho to be bought by Juve at the end of his term if he goes to Juve, and they will have to pay some of his wages. Now, how much of them wages are going to be covered in that loan fee that comes in at the start? Honestly, it's crazy, because you would get, what, 10 million euro loan fee, but you're still going to have to pay half of that off in paying Jadon Sancho to go to Juventus. It just seems ludicrous, it seems stupid. But this is what happens. These are where the negotiations are actually at. And we said it before, like, are we really going to see what Dan Ashworth and this new Manchester United structure and regime are all about now? Are they going to be able to negotiate a hell of a deal out of this? With the Sterling one, like I just mentioned a minute ago, that is now looking more likely, according to some more of the Italian reporters, along the lines of Sterling on loan to Manchester United, and his wages completely covered by Chelsea. And when we were saying before about Dan Ashworth making this worth United's while and working on his terms. That now is where we're at with that one. I don't know why we would loan Raheem Sterling. It's a pure desperation through Chelsea's part, I think, in getting rid of him. But we're just taking advantage of a situation that's coming about, and maybe he's in for a loan now for 1 year. It's crazy with what's going on, all of the reports that are flooding in at the same time right now. So yeah, Sancho out on loan but coming back, Sterling in on loan but then going back to Chelsea, United having to pay part of Jadon Sancho's wages but getting Raheem Sterling in, not paying any of his wages. That's the terms that United are offering Chelsea. You can put him onto United's books and have him there for a season, but we're not paying his wages. Now that, I feel, is absolutely mental. And you know what? Yeah, I'd be for that. If he's not costing us anything, then you take that. Clearly, if you're not having to fork out millions a year to cover Sterling's wages, then yeah, that's a no-brainer. If you're getting Sancho wages down a bit, look at it this way. It's like neither of these players were offering anything to United last year. We could get rid of one, paying less wages, and bringing one in, which would pretty much account for what we're paying Jadon Sancho, if that makes sense. So Sancho's gone, we're paying half of his wages to Juve. Sterling's in, we're paying nothing. So basically, Sancho's wages and what we're paying is pretty much paying for Sterling for this year. That makes sort of sense. But there are the reports coming out from all of the Italian side of things, and it's crazy where it's actually at right now, because it's completely different to where it was at this time yesterday and even this morning. So when you look at everything, when it's all laid out now from what's been said, it's still hard to believe that it's actually going to happen. And there's still a chance that Jadon Sancho might not leave Manchester United. I think he will be. I think he definitely will be leaving, but I think we're just going to have to wait this one out again. But Juventus back on top of the list now for getting Sancho, and it's spun around again. Please give the video a like, guys. We're just creeping up to 1,000 people in the room, only 7 minutes in. Thank you so much, everybody. If you're wondering what the hell this lot is all about, again, I'm on a little bit of a mini break, and we are finding location after location to bring you your live streams. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here. If I pan the video around, you would see like what is actually going on and like how prehistoric it is right here. Like this dates back to the dinosaur and Saxon age, apparently. Like, well, they didn't build a wall, the dinosaurs, but the Saxons did. Never mind, anyway. Yeah. Moving on to other stories besides Sancho and Sterling. Toney. Now, we said this morning that Ivan Toney was supposedly in talks with Chelsea, and they're monitoring that. There is another story come out saying that Toney has been approached by Manchester United by the Evening Standard, and then TalkSport have come out and said that that has not happened. But what you cannot ignore, and what is probably a reality, is United will have made contact with Brentford to find out what the situation is. You have to be alive, and when someone comes out and says that there's no truth in this, I think it's pretty much bollocks. There is truth in it, because everybody has to keep a foot and be in the know on everything that's going on in the transfer window with every single player. And if an opportunity came around, United would take Toney. I don't think the opportunity is going to come, but they are just keeping tabs on it. So in terms of that story and where that one is actually at, I feel like it's more just because Toney's available and it is in the last 2 days of the window, you're going to get these stories coming about, constantly going to get these stories floating around everywhere. So really just watch that one, but not with much sort of interest, or is that any real significant sort of stories coming out saying that Toney is actually going to come. I don't think he will. I think at this stage United's eggs are firmly in, dealing with Sancho and Sterling now. And you guys tell me, like, would you take Sterling on loan if it meant you're not paying any of his wages for a year? He's a free player, completely free for 1 season, and then you just send him back to Chelsea. Is that a good outcome for Manchester United? Is that where we should be going? It probably works out when you look at it a bit better, because you've got no commitment. We were talking earlier on about how we actually structure a contract for a 29-year-old, and United and what they're looking at in terms of the profile of players and the signings that we've made. Everybody's of a certain age. I think Mazraoui is the eldest at 26, but everyone else is pretty much 25 and under. So we're planning for the future, and Sterling is not a future-proof player. Well, if you can bring in a bit of experience to help these younger players for 1 year and not have to pay any of his wages, then, yeah, now you're talking a different ballgame altogether. Now you're talking Manchester United being very, very clever. And I would love to know the people on the poll that we did this morning that said, 55% of you said that you wouldn't take Raheem Sterling. 45% of you said you would. Has anyone within that 55% bracket who was watching earlier on actually changed their minds if that's the deal that's on offer right now, just for a season? An extra player, more squad depth for the amount of games that we've got, the experienced player that is Sterling, and you get to send him back, and he costs you nothing. Do you take him then? Because I think a lot of people would be swayed by a deal like that, and that's come out of the blue. And it has come from the Italian side of things. I don't know if they're pushing their Sancho to Juve agenda or anything like that, but that's the story that's been circulating around social media for the last hour that I've picked up on, read into it, asked a few questions, and yes, the Jadon Sancho to Juve thing is starting to mount serious momentum now, and we could be talking later on the evening show tonight at 6:30. I don't miss that one. We have all the updates going on from what's happened today, but I feel like that is really going to start kicking into overdrive now for the rest of today. And with what? Today, tomorrow and then Friday left to go, I think we're going to have to hear something by tonight to then get players in. One more day to get all of the necessaries done, signing of contracts, getting the media stuff done, and obviously having medicals. That will probably be tomorrow. And then pretty much you're just waiting for announcements which are going to be on deadline day. At United are probably going to have their feet up on deadline day. I think anything that we want to get done, I think is going to be done by the end of tomorrow. And then we've got a nice peaceful deadline day with most of our business done. And I challenge anyone not to get anywhere near at least a 9 out of 10 if what we're talking about now actually comes off. And let's not forget, we haven't finished with Victor Lindelof yet, and that story hasn't gone away yet with what Damasio said with Lazio. So by the evening show tonight, we should definitely be hearing more on Lindelof, more on Sancho and Sterling, and when we're getting definites on them. But one thing for certain is the Sterling one is not going to go away because Chelsea have to get rid of him. Whatever way, United, we thought were going to get taken advantage of by Chelsea in this, but right now United look like they're taking advantage of Chelsea. If we get Sterling off Chelsea's books, well, get Sterling out of Chelsea in terms of squad and squad numbers for announcing what they're going to have player-wise for the Premier League, and we don't have to pay his wages, which is what the rumour is, then quid's in. Let's go all in on that one, definitely. I don't see anybody turning that down. I mean, if Ashworth pulls that one off, then wow, yes. And you can send Sterling back. Come along, score 10, 15 goals in a season, help United out, win the Europa League, and then go back off to Chelsea. And then we'll invest that money that you helped us get by getting back in the Champions League into a better player. It's working out. Look, whichever way you look at it, it's like Sterling in for a season. Manchester United giving the chances to the likes of Maguire and Marcus Rashford going into next summer's window. If Rashford doesn't perform and Sterling has to come in and help United more, then United will actively be looking for people to buy Marcus Rashford next summer. So there's no one getting away with anything. There's no players getting off the hook in any situation right now. There are players in to cover every single player in that team right now. And like I said before, it all comes down on Ten Hag. Can you utilise what Ineos have given you this summer and make the most of it and get this team over the line back into the Champions League? That's what's important, and that is what we need to be doing this season. That's what we need to be getting to, whether it's Europa League, winning that, or whether it's actually qualifying in the top 4. It's difficult, I know, but I feel that United are in a position now in this window. Everything is done that's significantly need doing. Obviously, Manuel Ugarte is in Manchester. It is official, he's having his medical right now. A contract will be signed today, and the full announcement and official announcement should be tonight. It could be first thing in the morning, but expect that tonight. And he'll be training and be ready for Liverpool at weekend. So, yes, just to round everything off on where we're actually at right now, the Toney bid is a yes and a no. One source saying yes, one source saying no. Just take it as a final days of the transfer window and everything that's going on with what happens in the transfer window. Craziness and stories flying everywhere. And we've got Sterling and Sancho situation, which I said has just done a complete spin cycle back to both players going out on loan from their clubs. United taking Sterling, paying nothing and none of his wages, and United contributing to Sancho's wages about 50-60% for him to go to Juventus with a hefty loan fee on top at the start for United to cash in straight away with. That's what Ashworth is working on right now, and that's where United are actually at. Before I get kicked out of where I'm at, we've got tourists trying to walk past here at the moment, and Kazzy's doing a blocking duty so I can film, so we are being a little bit cheeky. I'm going to round up the video there and just say thank you. This was a quick fire live show. Really appreciate you all joining us. Well over 1,200 in the room. 15 minutes in, absolutely brilliant. I love you all. I'll be back with more updates and full detail on everything in this evening's show at 6:30, everybody. But from now, I'm going to go and get a pint. I'm going to go have a walk around, and hopefully Manchester United don't do anything crazy up until 6:30, and then we'll talk about it then. But guys, thank you. Please give the video a like, and obviously make sure you've hit that subscribe button. Show some appreciation for live on location. It doesn't get any more location worthy than this. This is mental. But yeah, we did it. Live show in the bag. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you at 6:30.